Okay, today is December 19th, 2024. It's our 74th session, Reading Urantia Book with Heidi. We keep reading forward, energy and pattern. 今天是2024年12月19日。我们与海蒂读玉书第74次会议。今天呢，我们读前言或者序言第6部分，能量和模式。Okay, Heidi.
Hello. Okay. Greetings. Let's see. We're plowing through the forward like brave soldiers, and we are making great progress. And today we're reading section 6. Okay, in the forward, energy and pattern. Here we go.
对
Any
对
Yeah.
我就不翻译了。Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. One second. One second. Who's Coco?
Hey, Coco is in Hong Kong, She read about Urantia book at YouTube and get quite excited. So I invited her to our group. So this is the first time that she attend our session.
And Anne's not here. I'm afraid. I hope we haven't lost Anne.
Huh?
Anne is not here.
Yeah, Anne might have something else. Otherwise, yeah, she would certainly attend.
Okay. So hi, Coco. Welcome. Just so you know, Coco, the rest of the book, you're joining when the forward is much harder than the rest of the book. Just so you know, it's not all this hard.
对，他这个安慰你，是序言是最难的。
Yeah. Hi, Heidi. Nice to meet you. I
Nice
heard
to
your
meet
voice yesterday. Yesterday night I heard your voice all night. Last session.
Oh, you heard the recording? You listened to the recording?
Yeah. On the YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ricky, you're so great to post them. So you know what you're in for, but please know that there's a lot of this book is just, much easier reading. I mean, than this. This is the forward is really, I consider it the hardest part of the book to get through.
对，就说前言是最难的，不要被吓着了。其他的其他的部分没有这么难，也没有这么抽象。对。
Yeah, I'm not afraid of it as well. Thank you.
I'm terrified.
Yeah. 对。
No, I'm so scared. I'm only reading it. Well, I'm only reading it because these brave soldiers made me do it. Otherwise, I would avoid it completely.
对，他其实他也不爱读这些抽象的东西，只是因为其他的勇敢的战士催促他，所以他不得不读。Yeah, we are all brave soldier, right? You are bravest, so.
So no, I read it before, but I've never taken the time like this to really read each sentence. So this is a good exercise. Okay, here we go.
对，以前他也读过，但是不像这样读这么细，一句一句的去分解。Yeah, here we go.
Any and all things responding to the personality circuit of the Father, we call personal. Any and all things responding to the spirit circuit of the Son, we call spirit. Any and all that responds to the mind circuit of the conjoint actor, we call mind. Mind as an attribute of the infinite spirit, mind in all its phases. Any and all that responds to the material gravity circuit center in nether paradise we call matter. Energy matter in all its metaphoric states. The conjoined actor is the infinite spirit. I'll let you read that, Chenli, because I think my cat's up trying to get inside my house.
OK。6. 能量与模式，任何及所有对上父的人格回路做出回应的事物，我们称之为人格；任何及所有对上子的属灵回路做出回应的事物，我们称之为属灵；任何及所有对共同行动者的心智回路做出回应的事物，我们称之为心智。心智是无限之灵，心智的所有方面的属性，任何及所有对以下界天堂为中心的物质引力回路做出反应的，我们称之为物质及所有能量物质的善变状态。
你继续。
我继续读。Energy 的能量，我们把它作为一个包罗万象的术语，适用于灵性、心智和物质领域。Force 力这个词也以同样的方式广泛使用。Power 通常仅限于指定大宇宙中的物质或线性引力反应物质的电性水平。Power 也被用来指代主权。我们不能遵循你们普遍接受的关于力、能量和力量的定义。你们的语言是如此贫乏，以至于我们必须为这些术语赋予多种含义。物理能量是一个术语，表示现象性的运动、行动和潜能的所有阶段和形式。在讨论物理能量的。
等一下，看看 Heidi 回没回来。
Heidi, are you back?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
My cat was I thought he was inside last night, but he was outside all night, so he was freaking out trying to get inside. It was so.
We read the next 2 paragraphs. So we read
Okay.
3 paragraphs total.
Okay, so let me do that first one first. Okay, any and all things responding. Okay, they're just saying that and it's interesting. They're saying that anything responding. So anything and any and all things responding to the personality circuit of the Father we call personal. Any and all things responding to the spirit we call spirit. Any and all things that respond to the mind circuit of the conjoined actor, that's the infinite spirit, we call mind. Mind as an attribute of the infinite spirit, mind in all phases. Any and all, well, I guess they're just saying that there's that's the Trinity. They're saying that that's how the Trinity works. We can separate all of reality into 3 areas: mind, spirit, and matter. I mean, mind, spirit. Well, actually 4: personal, mind, spirit, and matter. So there's because the Trinity is the 3, but then there's the Isle of Paradise. So of nether paradise we call matter. So there's really 4 phases of all reality, and everything in each area comes from that source. That's what they're saying.
对，它就是第一段，相当于就是几个回路。对，一个是人格的回路，直接是来自哪里呢？来自父。那还有那个心智回路呢？从哪来的？是从那个共同行动者，也就是三位一体灵的那个行动之灵嘛，无限之灵。然后属灵的部分呢，是由上子的属灵回路 做出回应。然后最后是那个物质嘛，是天堂岛为中心的物质引力回路啊，这是4个回路，4种回路。
So energy, energy we use as an all-inclusive term applied to spiritual, mindal, and material realms. Force is also thus broadly used. Power is ordinarily limited to the designations of the electronic level of material or linear gravity responsive matter in the universe. Power is also employed to designate sovereignty. We cannot follow your generally accepted definitions of force, energy, and power. There is such a paucity of language that we must assign multiple meanings to these terms. So, I know you already read this. So, again, they're telling us, this is written by a divine counselor, and they're, the I guess, very, very, very high spiritual beings. And it's just so hard for them to try to explain these cosmic things to us in our language.
对，这个作者呢是神圣指导者，他是很高的灵性存有，就是他发现我们这个语言非常的贫乏，很难去精确的描述他们想描述的这种概念。
Throughout the book, you'll read, they they complain about our language many, many, many times throughout this book. The authors.
这本书的写作传导过程当中，这些的灵性存有经常会抱怨这一点，我们语言的贫乏，就是没有办法表达确切的内容。
I've many times I've said, use the example, it would be like trying to explain physics to a 3-year-old with their limited language.
对，我经常做类比呢，就是把那个物理学像一个3岁的孩子去表达，用3岁孩子懂的语言去表达是非常困难的。
So we have to know that they're always doing the best they can, but we're getting a kind of I guess you'd call it a dumbed down version of the truth.
对，他们当然尽力的做到最好，但是呢，我们也要知道，就是它已经被这个下降了的那个版本简化了。
Okay. So this is the forward, and they're trying to tell us how these words are used in the book.
前言呢，主要是定义一些概念啊、术语啊，在这个软下之书里边是怎么用。
And they're saying that they're using the word energy, meaning physical, spiritual, mind, and material. They're using the word energy to encompass all 4 types of I guess you could call them frequencies or I don't know what other word there is. Energy, they're saying the same word can apply to mind, spirit, personal energies, and even physical energy.
它就是第2段第1句，就说这个能量这个词呢，就是广泛的被应用在描述这个属灵啊、心智啊、物质的这个领域内。
And force, they're saying that the word force, they're using the word force the same way to apply to all 4 different kinds of forces.
对，力这个词呢 ，force 这个词也是一样被广泛的使用在各个领域。
So and then I mean, this is easy for us to understand. And then power, they're saying power the same. Well, no, they're saying that power is usually limited to the physical power, gravity, like of the electronic level of material or linear gravity response. So that, but power, of course, is also employed to designate sovereignty. I mean, so it's the same, you know, we use it the same way. They're using it the way we use it. You can say, you know, electrical power, the power of a king, you know, they're those two ways.
对，这个 power 这个词呢，其实对它的语数当中应用，它也可以指什么电性的，然后那个一些线性引力反应的这种物质的力量，也可以指这个主权、全能、意志全能，这个跟我们的语言就是习惯用法也是一致的。
So then they say, we cannot follow your generally accepted definitions of force, energy, and power. There's such a paucity of language that we must assign multiple meanings. So, okay, so then they're going to explain exactly all the different energy. But you know, I'm not quite sure what they're saying, because they're saying they have to apply multiple meanings to these terms, but we use these terms to designate multiple meanings also. So I'm a little confused what they mean by that. But I guess they're just saying that they're going to describe things that we don't even know about, but they have to use these terms because that's all they have to work with. I think that's what they're saying.
其实我们用这些词也是每个词在不同的上下文也是预表不同的意义，对，是一致的，看它怎么解释。
Okay, so now I'm reading physical energy. Wait, how much, how you read, how far did you go in Chinese?
We read 3 paragraphs.
Okay.
Until this physical energy, this one.
This one you didn't translate, you didn't read yet?
We
You
read
did.
it.
Yeah, and until 1, 2, 3, that's where you stopped at 1. Okay. All right. Physical energy is a term denoting all phases and forms of phenomenal motion, action, and potential. In discussing physical energy manifestations, we generally use the terms cosmic force, emergent energy, and universe power. These are often employed as follows. Number 1, cosmic force embraces all energies deriving from the unqualified absolute, but which are as yet unresponsive to paradise gravity. Number 2, emergent energy embraces those energies which are responsive to paradise gravity, but are as yet unresponsive to local or linear gravity. This is the pre-electronic level of energy matter. Number 3, universe power includes all forms of energy which, while still responding to paradise gravity, are directly responsive to linear gravity. This is the electronic level of energy matter and all subsequent evolutions thereof. Okay.
OK， 在讨论物理能量的表现时，我们一般使用宇宙力、初心能量和宇宙力量等术语，它们经常被用于下面这些表达：一、宇宙力包含所有源于无限定绝对但尚未对天堂引力做出反应的能量；二、初心的能量包括那些对天堂引力有反应但对地方或线性引力还没有反应的能量，这是前电子级的能量物质。三、宇宙力量包括所有形式的能量， 这些能量直接响应线性引力，但仍响应天堂引力。这是能量物质的电子水平及其所有后续的演变。
Okay. So, energy. Okay. Physical energy is a term denoting all phases and forces of phenomenal motion, action, and potential. All okay. Physical energy. Is denoting all phases and forms of phenomenal motion, action, and potential. In discussing physical energy manifestation, we generally use the terms cosmic force, emergent energy, and universe power. These are all okay. So they're just talking about physical energy now, and they're saying when they're talking about cosmic force, emergent energy, and universe power, that's all aspects of physical energy. Material energy.
对，就是它这个下面4段讲述物理能量的3种表达。
Okay. And then there's 3 different kinds: cosmic force, emergent energy, and universe power.
3种是以宇宙力初心的能量和宇宙力量。
So the first one, cosmic force, embraces all energies deriving from the unqualified absolute, but which are as yet unresponsive to paradise gravity. So cosmic force. Well, let me before I talk about that one, let me look ahead and see what the difference is. Emergent energy embraces those energies which are responsive to paradise gravity.
Maybe start from the third one.
Universe power.
Universe power.
All forms of energy which will still respond to paradise, which still responding to paradise are directly responding to linear. So it's almost as if if energy is like evolving. It starts as this kind of.
Excuse me, Heidi. I'm so sorry. I need 那个琪琪，我想问一下哈，那个海蒂解释一下这个初心的能量是，它这个初心的这个能量呢，是在这个英文里面它是用哪一个英文是用哪一个词啊？
是左边嘛？左边 emergent energy。左边。Yeah, the second one, emergent energy. Did you see that? 你可以看到
我能看到啊，但是我不知道它这个初心到底是什么意思。What that means？
对呀，就正在解释嘛，这3种。对，相当于我的理解就是从第3种就是它宇宙力量嘛，宇宙就是那7个超级宇宙的力量，就是它就是既想应该Heidi一会儿会解释。完了，要是不明白了，再问。
好，那就继续，谢谢。
Yeah. So I asked Coco to listen to what you have to say about the difference between these 3 types of energy, and then if she has more questions, she can ask.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so basically they're breaking down material energy into 3 different kinds. It's almost like energy evolves. There's the first kind is just this sort of cosmic force. It's not very refined. It's just basic force that's coming from eternity, from God, from paradise. It's just this, well, it comes from paradise, really. It's cosmic force. Then the second one they're calling emergent energy. Now this energy responds to paradise gravity. So there's this paradise gravity is this it's just like the gravity of our planet, but it's in paradise, and all of the energy in the universe goes circles around, it comes out from paradise and it circles around the whole universe, and then it eventually goes back to paradise. So it's kind of, you can think of it like a tide in the ocean. It kind of goes out and then it comes back in, goes out, it washes over the whole universe, and then it comes back comes back home to paradise. So this energy from paradise is always circulating, but this emergent energy is not yet, it's not yet responsive to linear gravity, and linear gravity is probably the kind we have on our planet, I would think, more like the a very basic physical gravity. So this emergent energy is responding to the gravity of paradise, but not yet to, I would say, I mean, I see they're using words we don't know. Linear gravity, what does that mean? I think that means more material gravity, the kind of gravity we know about.
对，他就说第一种呢，这3种哈，这相当于就是能量，它也有一个进化的过程哈，不同的阶段的能量，它对不同的路发生反应啊。那个第1集它就是宇宙力，宇宙力，它是还没有对天堂引力做出回应，他就说这个那个。天堂引力，他就说，就相当于就像那个潮水一样，退去还会回来，就是它是一个能量，是一个回路，从天堂岛出去的，到时候还都会回到天堂岛，它就是形成一个回路。这个地方的线性引力，他也不知道是什么，他说有可能就是，比如说像我们在我们的行星上面，就是说，已经实化为物质的那个物质的引力，应该更指的是这方面的，那个是物质引力的意思，它这个线性引力。
So they're saying that this second type of gravity, this second type of physical energy is pre-electronic. It's pre-electronic. So at some point, energy becomes like electrified. It has electrons in it. There's some kind of electrical component, but this emergent energy has not become electric yet. And that's why it doesn't respond to physical. Apparently, in order to respond to physical gravity, there has to be like an electronic component.
对，要不然这个能量它还没有电子化，它是前电子级，它就是它说明它还是电子化了，那么才能够物质化，所以它这个出生的能量呢，它还没有实现这个电子化。
And then the third is universe power, and this includes all forms of energy, which, while still responding to paradise gravity, also respond to, I would say, they say to all linear gravity, but I would call that to probably maybe local gravity, extra paradise gravity, the different forms of gravity that hold all the suns and planets in the universe together. And this universe power is still responsive to paradise gravity, but also has an electronic component. This is the electronic level of energy matter, and all subsequent evolutions thereof. So this responds, it still responds to paradise, but it also responds to local matter, linear matter, physical matter as we know it, and it has an electronic base.
就是第3种的比较成熟的能量，既对天堂引力产生反应，还对那些线性的、地方性的、物质性的对能量产生反应，它是有充分的电子基础的。
I mean, we probably can't we probably have no way to even recognize or measure cosmic force or emergent energy, but we have discovered physical gravity. We know it exists, but the other emergent energy and cosmic force we're probably not even aware of.
对，我们大概就是没有对那个第一种宇宙力跟第二种出现的能量，大概根本没有意识到，也没有办法测量。但是对第三种，我们是可以测量的，它是属于物质引力。
I mean, I think they're
也就是说，初心的这个能量呢，它是没有物质化的，对不对？是不
对，
是说他解释我听明白了，就是说没有物质化的，所以他这里就是用中文的翻译，就是说它是刚刚兴起来的这种能量，对吧？
过渡中的，它是位于那个宇宙力跟宇宙
所以他这里是说是前电子级的能量物质。
对，
好
所以它就是这一部分就讲这个能量它的进化，它的演变，
我明白了。Thank you, Heidi. I see. Thank
sure.
you so much.
Sure, but remember these three are all physical. They're all physical energy. So that means that they are, you can measure them, you can weigh them. We're not even talking about spiritual forces yet. They're all three are physical. They exist in the physical reality, but we just don't have the capability of measuring them and recognizing them yet. I mean, maybe advanced scientists are aware of emergent energy and cosmic force. They may be. We don't. If they are, we don't hear about it very often.
就物质能量、物质引力，就是反正前两种我们就没办法测量，没有办法认识。对，就像那个，我就想起那些零点场的概念还是什么物质负物质什么负能量，有可能就是那些，反正就是不在我们的物质界的，没有办法我们的物质对那个进行测量和观察的。
But I mentioned this because somewhere else in the book it says that there is an energy that we have not discovered yet. That, in other words, and they're talking about an energy like the type of energy that could power electricity, or that we could use to power the planet. And they say it exists, but we haven't discovered it yet. So I think that they may be referring to this emergent energy or cosmic force, that there's a way to tap into it. There may be a way to tap into it in the future.
But this energy, how do we feel it? How do we touch this energy?
Well,
我还没翻译呢，你先不要着急。他就是说，书里边他也提到有一些其他的能量的形式，我们人类没有发现的，就是可以利用来给我们人类生活提供能量的。你有可能随着科技发展，我们会慢慢的会去想到一些方法发明一些方法，怎么样利用这些出现的能量跟宇宙力。
我刚才也就是在这里就是说有兴趣想知道你说的这个初心的能量，那我们怎么知道它是一个初心的能量？我们你说它都没有在物质宇宙当中形成，就是说进化成，那我们怎么会知道它是这种能量？我们怎么去感受？因为它已经就是说它还没在我们这个物质宇宙里面呈现嘛，对不对？是这个意思吗？
没有物质化，
我理解是这个意思。
没有，它没有，
就没有物质化的话，那我们作为物质宇宙的我们的个体，我们怎么去感受它这种
科学家干这些事情了，我们就不了解了因为他肯定是有办法那个来那个的，要不然那些的飞碟它不是反重力 它的能量来源从哪里，就一定不是用的是我们物质界我们知道的能量来源，是不是啊？那些飞碟要飞那么远，它一定是用的是其他的宇宙力啊，是不是啊？
那就是说，他这里面所说的意思就是说，宇宙当中是有一种这样的能量，但是我们现在还没能够探测到这种能量，是这个意思吗？
它不是探测到，它只是没有物质化，物质化，或者说没有在我们物质界，
就是科学家都还没有找到这种能量，是这个意思吗？
那人家这个是那个神圣咨询者，这是一个传导资料，他关心的不是你们科学家发现了没有，包括我们第三种宇宙力量，我觉得也有很多科学家没有发现的呀，并不是说，对我们这个科学就是用我们头脑所能理解的，
但是我知道啊，但是它这个线性引力又是什么意思呢？线性引力是什么意思？
线性引力就是Heidi 也不清楚，但是更多他认为就是我们可见的物质之间的一种引力，就好像我们说的那个牛顿的万有引力，那就物质跟物质的那种引力。
Okay, let's translate some of this into English because there's going to be people are going to
she's just Coco just confused about how we know the emergent energy and how to make use of them and so on and so forth. I told her that our scientists are mainly deal with finding the laws in universe power, the third type. We don't know yet how to make use of other two form energy form.
They're probably not. I mean, I don't know a lot about science, so I don't know, but they may not even be aware of it yet.
对，就是说科学家有可能还根本没有意识到有这些其他的能量方式的能量形式的存在。
But I mean, it's the thing is they're all physical energy, so that means my guess is that they're everywhere, that they're affecting us, that it's all around us. We just don't know how to recognize it yet. My guess is that it's everywhere. That
他认为这两种力也是在各处都有，宇宙各处都有，只是我们还没有认识到而已。这些物理能量。Yeah, of course.
Yeah. My guess is that it's not limited to any area of the universe, that all these three energies are everywhere in the physical universe. That's my guess, and that they are affecting us, but we don't recognize how it's affecting us. Just like if we were not told about gravity, we wouldn't know it even existed. We would just think people stand on the earth. We wouldn't realize that without gravity, we'd fly off into space.
对，就是这些能量，我们都在不断影响我们，只是我们不知道。就像比如说，我们也不清楚引力，如果对啊，那引力，比如说把我们对，就是吸到地球上这个引力，对，如果不说，我们也不知道我们有这个引力。
So I'm assuming that these cosmic force and emergent energy are playing some role in the physical universe. They're important components that the physical universe needs to exist, but we're not sure what role they're playing in our physical reality. We just don't know enough about them yet.
对，相信就是这个前两种啊，宇宙力啊，这个中心的能量啊，一定就是在宇宙当中发挥它不可替代的作用。只是在我们的物理实相当中，我们不清楚它们是发生什么样的作用。
They're probably I mean the potential once we discover them, the potential is amazing.
如果发现了，那么这个潜力是无限的。
You know,
Yeah, of
potential.
course, we
Yeah.
can fly, right? Everyone can fly against the gravity. We use
Everyone
emergent energy.
Wait, what'd you say about gravity?
We can fly, against the gravity, the linear gravity.
We could use them. We could use them in to counteract each other. But I think that, I mean, atomic energy and all the kinds we discovered, they're all based on this electronic energy that we're aware of. But the other two, I'm sure they have incredible uses that we'll someday discover.
对，这是肯定慢慢就会发现的。随着人类的这个认知水平的提高，慢慢的会发现更多的宇宙的奥秘。Okay, let's continue.
Okay. So now the next one is mind. Mind is a phenomenon connoting the presence activity of living ministry in addition to varied energy systems. And this is true on all levels of intelligence. In personality, mind ever intervenes between spirit and matter. Therefore, is the universe illuminated by three kinds of light: material light, intellectual insight, and spirit luminosity.
Beautiful one.
心智是一种现象，它标志着加在各种能量系统上的鲜活事功之临在活动。在所有的智性层次上都是如此。在人格中，心智总是介于属灵和物质之间，因此，宇宙是有三种光照亮的：物质之光、智性洞察力和属灵光辉。
Okay. So now they're saying that mind is a phenomenon connoting the presence of living ministry in addition to varied energy systems. So I'm always I think I can understand spirit energy and physical energy easier than mind energy. Mind energy is really hard for me to wrap my mind around.
我就说对灵性的能量啊，还有物质的能量啊，这个还比较好理解。心智它也是一个能量啊，它就是比较难理解。
So it's it's my mind energy seems to be kind of the bridge between physical energy and spiritual energy.
它是一个桥梁，这个心智是介于属灵的物质之间这个能量，这个桥梁。
But they're saying it's a living ministry. So that's an interesting way of describing mind energy. It's a living ministry.
他用了这个词叫活的事工，鲜活事工，就是当形容这个心智的能量啊、心智的活动的时候，用的这个词非常有意思。
So they're saying it's a living ministry in addition to varied energy systems. In addition, so there's these energy systems like these mind, we call here on the planetary level, we call them mind circuits. but then you get higher levels of mind energy systems. But then there's also this living ministry. So it's not just a physical phenomena like the physical energies. There's also this higher level to mind that's actually a ministry coming from the infinite spirit. It's almost there's a physical things sort of just happen on a mechanical level, but now we're on another level where there's personal will involved.
嗯哼，对，在行星的层次有这个质的回路，那么这个事工呢，就是它是这个无限之灵的事工，所以这个心智这个回路，它这个活动，它不光是一个机械性的物理的现象。
So like here's a difference. Like a computer or a robot can send or give or pass energy to another mechanical system, right? Mechanical systems can give and receive and project energy to each other, but they can't minister to each other.
物理的，像这机器人啊、电脑啊，它可以就是之间呢，就是传递能量啊，对其他的一些机械系统传递能量，但是它不能够接受和那个投射。
So you have to be, in order to receive the mind energies, you have to be a living system, right? Like you can't, like computers can't tap into it. We have to program them. They can't just become intelligent by receiving these mind energies from the infinite spirit. You have to be a living, but even animals have minds. So even animals are tapped into this energy.
对，心智的能量，它只能在活的系统之间来进行传递。那么像机器、电脑，我们必须要编程进去。对，但是呢，心智的能量，它是一定要在这个活的系统当中去来传递的，发射或者接受或者投射。
But it's not just what they're telling us in the very beginning when they said all of these energy patterns come from 4 different sources, the Father, the Son, the Infinite Spirit, or the Isle of Paradise. None of this just happens. It doesn't just appear. We don't just have a mind that can think. It's coming from the Infinite Spirit. You can think of it like gravity, right? It's like gravity is coming ultimately from the Isle of Paradise. And so is spirit energy, so is mind energy. It's like it doesn't just appear spontaneously on its own or grow like a plant. It actually comes from a source.
对，就像引力啊，它的来源就是从天堂岛，那么属灵力和心智力，那么它也来自那个不同的回路啊，都是有源头的嘛。那就是心智，它是来源于那个无限之灵的回路。
So they say, in personality, mind ever intervenes between spirit and matter. Therefore, is the universe illuminated by 3 kinds of light: material light, intellectual, and spirit luminosity. We'll read about light in the next section. But the point is, mind ever intervenes between spirit and matter. So when you have these bodies, these beings, these physical forms, and then I mean, even on the higher levels, you have a kind of physical forms. They're they're just made up of different energies, so we can't see them here, but they still exist. Higher beings have physical forms, but we all receive spiritual energy, but we need this mind to, it's almost like our physical form needs the mind to receive the spirit.
Need the mind to receive spirit.
Yeah, because it says in personality, mind, so persons always have forms, right? We always have physical forms of some kind, even if they're on much higher spiritual planes. There's a physical counterpart on higher levels, like angels do have bodies, like God is, you can see God, he has some kind of form. Jesus, we on the Urantia world we have bodies, on the higher world spirits. So there's the physical reality continues to exist throughout the universe. It's not just on the lower planets, it's just a different physical reality.
这个物质实相呢，是说一直存在，像天使，还有天使的那个灵智性的身体，我们呢是有我们的物质体。那么它是这个心智呢，是在属灵和物质之间来起作用，然后就是那个是不是能量呢，必须要通过心智体来传递给物质体，是这个意思。Okay.
The higher beings, all these higher beings, they're not just minds and spirits. They have a physical form, that their mind lives in their physical form, and their mind receives their spirit. Like you can't just endow a physical form with spiritual energy. That's why animals don't have spiritual energy. They have minds, but they can't go to the next level. But you can't just endow a physical being with spiritual energy. If you're going to have spirit, you're going to have mind. That's what I mean. You have
他就说那个动物它就没有灵性的能量，那么就是因为它们的心智就是没有那个回路，所以它没有办法分赐那灵性的能量给这个动物。我们就不同了，我们的心智回路就不同了。所以呢，对，我们可以得到灵性的能量。
So mind doesn't need spirit. An animal can have mind, can receive mind energies to think, but they're not capable of receiving spiritual energy. But you can have mind without spirit, but you can't have spirit without mind. That's what they're saying. They're saying mind ever intervenes between spirit and matter. You can't just have a physical being with a spiritual awareness, but no mind. You need mind to receive the spirit.
对，你不可能只有身体和属灵，而没有心智。那么就是灵性的觉察是靠这个心智的辅助来或者桥梁来完成的。
So that's why some people are extremely smart, have great intellectual power, but they're not spiritual, because they have very evolved minds, but they don't have. And other people are very spiritual and they're very spiritual aware, but their minds aren't very evolved, but they have them. They do have minds in order to receive that spirit. But you can have a very advanced mind without receiving much, without being very spiritually aware.
对，有的人可能非常聪明啊，智力非常棒，但是并不是那么属灵。还有些人非常的属灵，但是呢，心智智力水平一般。
I mean, I'm just explaining all this. This isn't what the book says. The book just says impersonality mind ever intervenes between spirit and matter. So they're just emphasizing that mind is like the glue that binds the spirit to a material being. But we have to remember that the material universe exists on much higher levels. We can't see it. It's not on this level, but it still is a material universe. There are still actual planets that are very spiritual planets, where if we went there, we wouldn't even be able to see anyone, but they do exist and they do have physical forms. They're just on a higher level.
就是讲到物质宇宙，说有一些的星球上是不是也有生物？但是好像我们看不到物质，但是他们也是有物质的形体的，只是我们看不到。他又说到那个心智就像这个身体和灵性之间的胶水一样。
So then they say that because there's these three kinds of energy, physical, mind, and spirit, therefore is the universe illuminated by three kinds of light: material light, intellectual insight, and spirit luminosity. So that they're saying there's three kinds of light, that because there's three basic energy forms: matter, physical matter, mind energy, and spirit energy. And then there's three kinds of light that match each. There's a light that matches each type of energy. So there's physical light, the light well, it's not just electric light. The light of the sun, that's physical light. So all physical light that we're aware of. Then there's intellectual insight, which is really interesting because we don't think of that as light, but apparently the Urantia book does. There's an intellectual light, which we would call intellectual insight, and then there's spirit luminosity.
对，那就是说这个最后一句哈6.8，他就说三种的宇宙当中三种的能量方式，相当于就是这个一个是物理之光嘛，那还就是这些，然后是智性之光，智性的洞察力，然后是属灵之光，属灵的光辉，它是这三种基本的能量方式。
So I'm not sure why they call intellectual insight light, but I think that maybe they're trying to tell us that there is a kind of a light involved with intellectual insight that we're not really aware of.
他说他也不确定为什么把这个智性洞察力作为光的一个形式，也许就是灵性之光，是不是也是进化的一种方式
？It's funny because we use the symbol for bright. We say, hey, he's very bright. When someone's smart or sharp, we say they're very bright.
当我们说这个人某个人很聪明的时候，我们说那个英文词是用的 bright， 就是明亮。
And when they're kind of dumb, kind of stupid, we say they're very dim-witted, dim.
这个人脑袋糊里糊涂的，我们就说这个用的词叫 dim， 非常暗淡的。
Or dull.
Dull.
Right? Yes, something that's not very intellectually insightful, we would say that's very dull. A dull book, a dull movie, a dull story, right? It's not intellectually inspiring, it's dull. Or person that doesn't have much intellectual originality or insight with the dull.
对，或者说这个人非常愚钝。
How to spell the dull?
Oh, yeah, D-U-L-L.
D-U-L-L.
愚
Dull,
钝，
yeah.
这跟我们那
Okay,
个中文
I see.
也很那个，就是利，非常利，聪明啊，聪明嘛。我们这个明也是明亮的意思嘛，是啊。这个回路非常通畅嘛，这个心智回路非常通畅，反应非常快。这人就反应很慢的话，说半天他就不知道他也讲不明白，他这个人就是比较愚钝啊，比较晦暗。对，他是这个，就是用这个心智回路，这个光，用这能量系统用的是不咋利落，是，可以理解，可以理解。
I
So
see.
now we use the symbol. Now we use the symbol, right? For a good idea, like we use the symbol of a bright light bulb, right? Like with icons in the computer, you'd say for a good idea, you'd use the symbol a little bright light bulb.
就是那个如果是这个人有个好主意，那么在电脑上面呢，就是用一个亮的灯泡来表示。
You know, you might say, let's have a brainstorming session at 3 o'clock, and you'd put a little symbol of a light bulb.
就是说我们3点钟要有一个那个灵思迸发的那个会议，那么就后边加上一个小的亮了的灯泡，大家一起来亮，一起来找灵感。
So I'm using all these examples because I'm saying that even though we don't talk about an intellectual light, apparently we are aware of intellectual insight being associated with light, because we're using all these words and symbols referring to light with intellectual insight. We're actually doing it.
对，所以我们也是，虽然不认为心智是一种光，那么我们也经常的会也是把灵性洞察力当成一种光。
So I think what the book
光
I think what the book is telling us is that there is an actual light that's related to mental, intellectual, mindal insight, that there's an actual mental mind light. We don't necessarily see it, but we seem to be aware of it because we're always referring to it.
对，应该是有这个跟那个脑力啊，跟这个心智啊，它这洞察力有关的，我们也一直都是这样去指代的。
那琪琪，我刚才还有一个疑问啊，就是说他这里说鲜活事工，这个事工又是什么意思呢？它这个英文是哪个词是事工
Ministry, living ministry， 就相当于一个高的那个无限之灵呢。无限之灵的它的
living ministry 是吧？
对，当我们那个 ministry， 比如说那些的传福音的人，他身怀使命，到处去传神的福音，是吧？那这个
Yes, but
无限之灵，他也到处去分赐他的工作呀，那就相当于就是心智的工作啊，所以这个地方用的是 living ministry。
But when they study the brain, right? When they're studying brain activity, these doctors, they're looking at the brain and they can tell which part of the brain is being used because that area is lit up. They see light. I think they see, don't they see light? Was it light or did they just see movement or something?
They see some electrical activity going on over there, that area.
But they can perceive it by is it some kind of light, do you think?
Yeah, it is kind of light. You know, all the energy form can be regarded as light. You know.
Yeah, because they can actually see it with their eyes, right?
Yeah, through the device. Yes.
Yeah, through the device. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so
那
that
就
so
是
that
做
so
脑电
appa-
图啊，那些做那些的，通过一些的仪器就可以测到，可以实际上测到脑哪个地方比较活跃，所以就是海蒂就说，哎，是不是看到那个地方就是亮起来了？是啊，那因为电活动就是通过仪器，一定是那个地方比较亮，哪个地方有脑力活动，哪个地方就比较亮，是的。
我能听懂海蒂她形容的那个 light 的意思，我能听懂。
so then they explain the light a little more. They say light, spirit, luminosity is a word symbol, a figure of speech, which connotes the personality, manifestation, characteristic of spirit beings of diverse orders. This luminous emanation is in no respect related either to intellectual insight or to physical light manifestations. Shenli, did you read this yet?
No，等你读这一段6.9。
属灵光辉是一个文字符号，一个比喻，它表达了不同等级属灵存有的人格表现特征。这种光辉的散发与智性洞察力或物质之光的表现完全无关。Okay, Heidi.
Okay, so they're saying they've discussed this also in other parts of the book. Spirit luminosity, like higher beings can detect our thought adjusters. They see an actual light in us that shows them that we have a thought adjuster. Like our spirit emits a kind of a spirit, emits a light, but it's a spirit luminosity. It's not a physical light, it's a spiritual light.
灵性在我们这个人格里边，就是思想调整者，他的这个属灵光辉，他发散的属灵光辉就是。
And so they're saying, I figure they're saying the personality manifestations characteristic of spiritual beings of diverse orders. So it's not just thought adjusters, which are fragments of God that emit this spiritual luminosity. They're saying beings of diverse orders. So they're saying that all spiritual beings, or many or most, probably all, emit a kind of spiritual luminosity. There's a light that's associated.
所有类别的属灵存有都会发散这种灵性之光。
Now, whenever they all our depictions of Jesus and God always have light emanating from them. I mean, not always. There's pictures of Jesus where he doesn't, but it's very common.
对，当那些的肖像关于耶稣的肖像的画他的时候，总是头上有那种 aura， 有那种光环，就是灵性之光。
And that's we're trying to, in all of those images, we're trying to depict spirit luminosity. We don't think there's actually electronic or solar light coming from them. It's spirit luminosity we're trying to portray when we have light emanating from these higher beings.
对，这些的肖像就是主要表达的就是一种属灵的光辉，这些的高级存有的属灵的光。
Now, in near-death experience, people who have near-death experiences, most often, not always, most often talk about a great light. If they meet God or Jesus, they talk about this incredible light coming from them.
那些濒死体验的人，当他们看到那个高级存有的时候，比如说像神啊、耶稣的时候，他们都是在大光里边，都是几乎不能直眼看的，都是在。
So even though we can't necessarily see it here, we can as we evolve our spirits, as we become more and more spiritual, even on this plane, our spirit probably is emitting a kind of luminosity.
随着我们的灵性的这个进化进展，那么即使在我们现在物理的层面，那么我们的属灵的光辉也会发生的越来越强烈。
Very, very dull at first, but as we become more spiritual, becomes brighter.
对，由这种晦暗，然后慢慢的变得明亮。
So, okay, pattern. The next one is pattern. Pattern can be projected as material, spiritual, or mindal, or in any combination of these energies. It can pervade personalities, identities, entities, or non-living matter. But pattern is pattern and remains pattern. Only copies are multiplied. Pattern may configure energy, but it does not control it. Gravity is the sole control of energy matter. Neither space nor pattern are gravity responsive, but there is no relationship between space and pattern. Space is neither pattern nor potential pattern. Pattern is a configuration of reality which has already paid all gravity debt. The reality of any pattern consists of its energies, its mind, spirit, or material components. I'll let you read those two, Shenli, because they're pretty tricky.
OK，模式可以被投射到物质、属灵或心智或这些能量的任何组合，它可以渗透到人格、身份、实体或非生命物质中。但模式就是模式，而且仍然是模式，复制是其唯一的增加方式。模式可以配置能量，但它并不控制能量。引力是能量物质的唯一控制。空间和模式都不对引力做出回应，但空间和模式之间没有关系。空间既不是模式，也不是潜在的模式。模式是一种实相的配置，它对所有引力都没有回应。任何模式的实相都有其能量、心智、属灵或物质成分组成。OK。
Okay, so I'm going to read the next two, and then I'm going to try to discuss this whole section of pattern. The next two I'm going to read. In contrast to the aspect of the total, pattern discloses the individual aspect of energy and of personality. Personality or identity forms are patterns resultant from energy, physical, spiritual, or mindal, but are not inherent therein. That quality of energy or of personality by virtue of which pattern is caused to appear may be attributed to God, deity, to paradise force endowment, to the coexistence of personality and power. Pattern is a master design from which copies are made. Eternal paradise is the absolute of patterns. The eternal Son is the pattern personality. The universal Father is the direct ancestor source of both. but paradise does not bestow pattern, and the sun cannot bestow personality. Okay.
OK， 在与总体方面相比，模式揭示了能量和人格的个体方面。人格或身份形式是由能量及物质属灵或心智的产生的模式，但并非其中所固有的。这种使模式得以出现的能量或人格的品质，可以归于神、神灵，归于天堂力的赋予，归于人格和力量的共存。模式是一个主设计，根据它来进行复制。永恒的天堂是模式的绝对，永恒之子是模式人格，万有之父是两者的直接祖先来源。但天堂并不赋予模式，上子也不能赋予人格。
Okay. Okay. So I think that they're using the word pattern. I think that it's hard for us to understand it, for me anyway, to understand this part because they're using the word pattern in a way that we don't use it.
那这模式这个概念很难理解，不是照我们理解的那种的去定义这个概念。
I think they're saying that everything that form, all form, whether it's physical or spiritual or like all form, all is created from patterns, and that the patterns are from the Son, the Spirit, or the Father, the Son, or the Spirit, and that they're the original pattern. They're the original object, or creation, and then everything is a pattern of the original. I think that's what they're saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. That's the same meaning as what we can perceive, the pattern. It's the stereotype, or almost the stereotype.
It's the what?
Original form. That is something that we, like with the construction architect, there is a design, we build the building based on that design. It's kind of pattern.
Yeah.
这个模式也是很好理解的吧，反正就是不管是物质的还是灵性的，它都是有一个范式，对吧？上父、上子、上灵，现在他们都是要照着他们的那个范式来进行复制嘛，创造其实就是一个复制的过程，所以就是这个范式模式嘛，这个我觉得没有那么难理解。
Okay. So let's take it one paragraph at a time. So pattern can be projected as material, spiritual, or mindal, or any combination of these energies. It can pervade personalities, identities, entities, or non-living matter. But pattern is pattern and remains pattern. Only copies are multiplied. I think they're saying that everything, I think they're saying that everything is, every kind of form is original, and that it can't be, you can make copies, but you won't have two different, you won't have two patterns that are exactly the same. I think it's like we're like every personality is unique, and every snowflake is unique, and every grain of sand is unique. It's like you can copy it, but you're not going to have two originals that are the same. I think that's what they're saying.
对，是有一个原先的这个模型，但是呢，它在复制的时候就不会是完全的一样。这个有点像赛斯资料里边的完形这个概念。就是如果读了赛斯资料，应该对这个就有了解了什么是这个模式。
I mean, when they say, but pattern is pattern and remains pattern, that's only copies are multiplied. I think that's what they mean. I think they're saying that there's one pattern and that you can use the pattern to maybe I think that all the patterns come from, see, they say can be projected as material, spiritual, or any combination. So you can have patterns that are a combination of material, spiritual, or mindal spiritual, or so you can have, or any so a pattern can be a combination of these things. I think it can pervade personalities, identities, entities, or non-living matter, but pattern is pattern and remains pattern. I guess I think they're saying that pattern itself is not spiritual, material, or mindal. It's just pattern is pattern is pattern. That's what they're saying. Pattern
对，就是这种完形啊，它是可以投射到各界，像物质啊，或者属灵啊，或者心智啊，或者任何的这些能量形式的组合呀。但是它就是一直都有这个完形的存在，会有这些的复制，这些创造里面都有完形的存在。
So they say pattern may configure energy, but it does not control it. Gravity is the sole control of energy matter. Neither space nor pattern are gravity responsive, but there is no relationship between space and pattern. Space is neither pattern nor potential pattern. Pattern is a configuration of reality which has already paid all gravity debt. The reality of any pattern consists of its energies, its mind, spirit, or material component. The reality of any pattern consists of its energies, its mind, spirit, or material components. So that means a pattern can have mind, spirit, and mind and spirit components. That makes me think we must be patterns.
Yeah, remember that in Urantia world, we are going to be recreated, be bestowed with a Urantia body. So the creation is going to be done according to the pattern, certain pattern. So that me is still me and you are still you. So that's kind of.
So yeah, so there, and they also say in the book that on Havona, there's 1 billion worlds surrounding paradise in the central universe of Havona, and that those are the patterns for all creation. Like everything on every planet in the universe is based on the pattern of the people, the beings in Havona. Like they're the
对，那就是说，在哈瓦那的上百万的可居住的世界，那么所有的创造物都是一个模型的复制。那么其他的那7个超级宇宙，应该它也是一个中央宇宙的这个造物的复制，完形的复制的。
So it says, in contrast to the aspect of the total, pattern discloses the individual aspect of energy and personality. Personality or identity forms are pattern resultant from energy, physical, spiritual, and mental, but are not inherent therein. Our personality or identity forms are that personality or identity forms. That's our physical beings. That's our forms. Our, like the Urantia, like you said, the Urantia form, the human body. They're all personality or identity forms are pattern resultant from energy, but are not inherent. So the patterns are so they're saying that the patterns result from the person, the physical, spiritual, or mental, but they don't exist by them. They're not inherent therein. Like your pattern, your form is a result of your physical, spiritual, or mental composition. It's not just random.
对，这6.12大概就是讲的一个人格完形的概念。所以说像人格的完形是由物质啊、属灵和心智的能量所产生的。
And then it says that quality of energy or personality, the quality of energy or personality by virtue of which pattern is caused to appear may be attributed to God, deity, to paradise, force, endowment, to the coexistence of personality and power. So they're saying again that it's the energy of, or the quality of energy or personality by virtue of which pattern is caused to appear. So they're saying that pattern is a result. Again, they're saying it's a result of the of these physical, mental, and spiritual energies. So in other words, you have space by itself. Well, I don't know. I can't really say. I was going to say space by itself is not a pattern, but then it converges into patterns. That's what I was going to say, but I'm not sure if that's true.
对，这几段大概就是在赛事资料里边就会展开，在这书当中它就是比较抽象的，也许这个是总纲嘛，也许后边有解释，看看，但是我感觉应该赛事资料展开的更详细。
So they're saying that quality of energy or of personality by virtue of which pattern is caused to appear. So I think there's I think maybe there are energy patterns, personality patterns. That's what I think. But they're may be attributed to God, deity, to paradise, force, endowment, to the coexistence of personality and power. So I think pattern, okay, I think they're saying that pattern is kind of a result of the mind, spirit, and physical. It's like all these three, well, it would be personality, mindal, spiritual, and physical. I think these four energy patterns and these four energy sources result in patterns. I guess they're saying you can't have patterns without these fundamental energies, and then it's also a gift of God. It doesn't just it's something, it doesn't just exist. It doesn't just pop up. Every time there's a pattern or a form, it's a result. It's another gift. It's like the personality. It's a gift of God. It doesn't just appear by itself.
对，这个人格模式，他说是由4种的能量来源共同塑造的。
So then they say pattern is a master design from which copies are made. Eternal paradise is the absolute of patterns. The eternal son is the pattern personality. The universal father is the direct ancestor source of both. But paradise does not bestow pattern, and the son cannot bestow personality. Pattern is a master design from which copies are made. Eternal paradise is the absolute of patterns. The eternal son is the pattern personality. So the eternal son is the pattern personality. And then it says the paradise does not bestow pattern, and the son cannot bestow personality. So God the Father is the only one who can bestow personality. And the paradise cannot bestow pattern. Paradise, there has to be a personality involved in pattern. But the father is the director. So they're saying that the son bestows pattern, but it's in collaboration with paradise, because pattern has anything that has a physical component. I think has to come from nether paradise, where gravity originates. It's like that's the source of all form in the
对，
universe.
这个物质模式就是只要它是物质的模式，物质的模式，它一定是来自天堂的啊。
But it's not as basic as gravity. Gravity can just come from paradise. Like gravity just flows out of paradise throughout the universe, but pattern doesn't. Pattern has to come from the eternal son, I think they're saying.
没有，这个模式它是就是不管是属灵的物质，它都有模式，不是说只有人格。这个我不同意，他认为人格才是模式，这个不对的，都是有模式。天堂是模式嘛？物质能量它也有模式的。
I think they're talking about the building blocks of creation.
它这个模式大概讲的就是创造的这些砖块。
I think they're saying that nothing can exist without the fundamental, nothing that we see, nothing physical can exist without the energy source coming from paradise, and then the ideas and concept of patterns coming from the eternal son. I think that's what they're saying.
Well, that's it. That the sentence that eternal son is the pattern personality reminds me of what the Bible says.
Yeah.
The seed of the wheat. The seed of the wheat seems like we are all the replication of the eternal son.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and we are amulets of all the reproduction.
Yeah, because pattern is a master design from which copies are made.
所以我就想到那个圣经当中，他就说这个耶稣是神的长子，然后我们都是神的众子。那这个地方就说到这个永恒之子是模式人格嘛，那我们实际上是照着永恒之子的样子，我们就是照着这个模式。耶稣是我们的榜样啊，活出神人的 神之子和人之子，我们照样也会照着这个模式，也是神之子和人之子。
So it seems like they're saying that everything is derived or replicated from these original patterns that are they don't use the word created, but I have to because I don't know any other word to use, that are created or that come from this, the source of these is the eternal Son. So the original, and then everything is replicated throughout the universes. I don't know if everything are just copies or if you can have derivations or but it sounds they do keep talking about these original, the master pattern, the original patterns. So you know, Ricky, you know what fractals are, right?
Huh?
You know what fractals are, right?
Fractal.
Yeah.
What's that?
Fractal? Well, it's so hard to explain that I think you should look it up when you have some time because they're amazing, but they're these patterns that they've discovered in everything. Their fractals are in everything, and they're definitely patterns that, and they replicate, and they're amazing. And they found a mathematical formula that if they use this mathematical formula like in a computer, then it generates these incredible patterns that keep replicating and don't ever stop. And they're beautiful, and they're beautiful.
那种叫什么生命之花呀、黄金分割曲线啊，就那种螺旋线啊，是不是那种啊？他就说这个好像这所有的生命形式当中都有这样的一个 pattern。
So I think that if people look up fractal, fractal, fractal.
fractal.
Yeah, fractal, fractals. I think they might get, I think those are might have to do with this pattern business.
Fractal 是分形的意思，他的意思是说，就是迭代分形嘛。我们那个时候查老师也说过啊，就分形迭代呀。他是今年比较好像在物理上有一个迭代分形的那个，就是不断的在变化，把那个图案变出很多很多出来。
他说那个像什么水晶的生长啊，然后这个液体的那个旋流啊，然后这个银河系的形成啊，都是这样一个螺旋的。
对，但是我这里还有一个疑问，也想问一下他哈，就是他说这种模式得以出现的能量或人格的品质，可以归于神灵，但是为什么上面又说模式跟空间跟这个都没有关系？那他就是说，他所说的这个 pattern， 就是说只是在神灵的你刚才说赛斯是一个能量人格元素啊，它并不是一个，
不是赛斯这个人，是赛斯资料里边的 Gestalt 这个完形的概念。
完形的概念，
你可以查一下 Gestalt 这个词。
Okay, you have to translate a little because I'm concerned about, I don't want our listeners to.
Gestalt. So we relate to this. This the pattern here relate to the concept of Gestalt in set material. It's spelled as Gastalt. It's a pattern, yeah, everything multiplied or recreated by this Gestalt.
Okay, I'm kind of having trouble hearing you. really, it sounds like there's are you on like speaker? Well, I guess we're all on
No,
speaker.
it's kind of echoing because the room is big. So there are echoes.
Yeah, that's better. I couldn't, what did you spell? Could you spell something again?
G for girl, A-S-T-A-L-T.
Gestalt.
Gestalt, yeah.
What
Gestalt.
is that? What's Gestalt?
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
can, yeah,
I don't
you can,
either.
you can check
Look it up.
this dictionary and
Yeah.
organize the whole that is perceived as more than the sum of its part. It's kind of a basic idea that in set materials.
Well, I think you're talking about Gestalt. G-E-S-T-A-L.
G-A-S.
Yeah, because we have a word Gestalt, G-E-S-T-A-L-T, that something is made of,
Yes.
yeah, that something that is made of many parts and yet is somehow more than or different from the combination of its parts. Gestalt. I think that's what you're talking about.
I didn't see.
Yeah, that must be because we have a word Gestalt, which, but I've never heard of Gestalt. So that's yeah, that's related, but the fractals are like they're
Yeah.
when you look at fractals, you can see the patterns of shells and patterns of trees and patterns of leaves, and you can see these like original patterns that are in, and they're made from mathematical formulas. It's called like the Fibonacci design, and these they're real. I mean, you all have to look at them. They're absolutely amazing, and you can look, and they just, but I think they have to do with these original patterns that the whole universe is created from these original patterns, and I think they have mathematical formulas attached to them. So I think that but yeah, I do. I think that they really tapped into something with that.
对，是GE，对 ，Yeah, you're right, yeah. Fractal and Gestalt, yeah, they kind of all are patterns.
Yeah.
Fractal are reflecting maybe the pattern of eternal heaven, eternal paradise.
Yeah, I mean,
the physical creation, follows that.
Yeah, I think what they discovered was that there's a mathematical formula to all physical design that, it's like it's all that's like the science and math are so interconnected, and when you're talking
它这个模式，它就是那个fractal 就是那个对数学，它就是这创造都是照着一定的数学模型了。几何模型、几何图像，它都是就是这样严密的创造出来的。像什么雪花，大概就都按到银河的形成，大概都是遵循这个 fractal。
Like everything seems to be built from these original patterns. The patterns are like building blocks, and everything in creation stems from these basic mathematical formulas.
就是从小 从最小的开始，小的建筑砖块到大的那个，都是照着这样的一个 fractal 它这个数学模式建起来的。
Like there's a similarity in like how our cells like if you look at the cells, right? Like the nucleus and the electrons and stuff, it's kind of like a solar system, like a sun with planets around it, right? Like there are these same patterns that you see again and again on the microcosm and the macrocosm. So it's like if you broke down a mountain, you'd find it's made of granite, and then if you broke down the granite, you'd find the cells, and then deep inside the granite, you'll find some kind of similar patterns that are related to what's inside a tree or what we're made of or how the mind, you know what I mean? There's this.
对，就是小微观物质、宏观世界都是遵循了同样的一个模式，像那个细胞啊，细胞它那个样子就有点像那个太阳系统，对，一个其他的围着原子核转嘛。从微观到宏观，大概都是沿袭同样的一个物理模式。
And it's like when an artist creates a painting there, or a musician creates a beautiful piece of music, they always feel like it comes through them. They don't feel like they're creating anything. They're not like just making it up from scratch, creating it themselves. They're letting it come through them from somewhere else.
我都走神了，没听清他说的这一部分是啥意思。
And that might be,
I
it
can,
might be.
I can understand. I can understood your saying. What is the pattern and this. 你现在可以叫他再继续了。这一节明白了。
对 ，OK， 好的 ，Yeah。Okay, are we done for this?
Yes, we are. And you can go to your meeting.
Yeah.
You'll have time to get ready for your meeting. So, okay, we got through pattern. That was a hard one. That was a hard one for me.
对，他说这个能量与模式这一节就完了。他说这个比较难，对他来说也不好理解。但是大家就是模模糊糊有点概念就行了，不求甚解就可以了，就有个概念就行。好，行，那我一会儿就要有一个 appointment， 我就要下线了。谢谢大家今天来参加共读。
谢谢琪琪邀请我来，也谢谢这个 Heidi 啊。Thank you so much, Heidi.
下回要来啊，下回至高存在者。Yes, Heidi. Next time we are going to go for our supreme being.
Yeah. Now, I just want to. Yes, it's very exciting. I just want to say one more thing. I think that maybe if we think of pattern as form, you know, I think that's what's throwing me off is the word pattern. I think if for people like me who have trouble with the word pattern, I think if you substitute it for form, you would have a better understanding of.
I see.
对，但是那个形式，他就说可以把模式转译成形式，但是形式呢，就是更只是那个物质层面用的词，但是呢 Gestalt 的那个它更是一个抽象的人格的层面，它也有这个模式。所以就是用这两个概念去替换吧，一个是那个海蒂的那个 fractal， 另外一个在资料当中的 Gestalt， 就是去理解模式的概念哈 pattern。
行，
对，好啊，行 ，good。
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you next week.
See you next week. Have a nice day.
Okay, have a good weekend. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.